You probably already know how to use the Whisper-JAX website to translate non-English video to English, but that generated text can be uploaded to YouTube. So in this video, we're going to learn how to convert the Whisper-JAX text into a bilingual subtitle for YouTube. Let's go. Okay, so today we are going to add an AI bilingual sub to this video. So first of all, we go to the Whisper-JAX HuggingFace app. Simply look for the first one and click the YouTube tab. Select Translate and return timestamp. Then paste the YouTube link and hit Submit. It will start loading and processing. Depending on your video duration, the processing time will vary. For this 26-minute video, it took about 3 minutes to load, but it took only 10 seconds to process. Done. Simply take this one and paste it to a text file. Control S to save as long English narrate and hit save. Let me download my Python script from my GitHub. So simply go to GitHub and I'll put that link to the file in the video description below. So feel free to check it out. Okay, so just go to my GitHub, go to repositories and look for Python beginner. And the name should be Whisper-JAX to srt.py, this one. Basically what it does is converting the timestamp from the Whisper-JAX generated file from the seconds. They convert it into seconds and then convert the seconds in the format that is readable from YouTube. Okay, I was just copying these codes from the Whisper-JAX HuggingFace forum and by the author, and I just tweaked that a little bit. So I'm going to download this file here, and you will see raw, right? Or you can just download the raw file to your default download folder. Control X, cut that, and replace this one, because I have this one already. And now I can close this one. So I'm going to launch that Python file and tweak that script a little bit to achieve the Chinese and the English translation of my script. Okay, so let's open terminal and activate my environment. If you don't know how to install Python, activate the virtual environment, that kind of thing, feel free to watch the video on the top right. Okay, so now I just pretend that I've already got my virtual environment, which is called test.env, and it's in my G drive, it's in my thumb drive. Okay, script activate. So, and now you see me activating my virtual environment. And here I'm just using the built-in idle lib that comes with the Python installation. If you have VS Code, Sublime Text, NeoVim, that kind of text editor, feel free to use your preferred text editor. And now I'm just using the built-in idle. Okay, so here just open my idle, Control O to open the script that I just downloaded from my GitHub. So it's called Whisper-JAX to SRT. That's the script, right? Here, this is the source file of the text file that was generated on the Whisper-JAX website. And let me just look for that file. Oh, it should be this one. Long English narrate.txt. So just F2, copy that, that's the file name. And it should be cap, audio cap, and then Control V, that's the long English narrate.txt. Okay, and here I've created a variable called the source text. That is a variable that uses the path method to read the message from the source file above and encode it in UTF-8 format. So it's going to be in a text string format. Okay, now if I comment this out and I just print the source text variable, let's say I just print the first 1000 characters and press F5 to save it and just test run. what we get. And we get this, right? If you just open this file and compare it to this one, that's the format and that's the content, right? They are exactly the same. But if I run these two files and if I run the new text, I expect to get the new timestamp format. Okay, so let me press F5 to run it. Okay, so you see this one. So it only changed the first one. Okay, this part. So in my last part, I couldn't get the time match function worked on the whole subtitle. So behind the screen, I tried using this one, the new time pattern. So just to grab everything from the old timestamps, let me just replicate this. So I'm going to use this old time pattern to extract all the timestamps inside the square bracket. So I just call this one old times, and it's going to be a list that holds all the timestamps within the square bracket. Okay, find all the regular expression, find all from the source text, which is the one that I showed you before, and I'm going to extract the time pattern. I just print the old times. I mean the first 5 items of the old times, which is separated with a new line. So when I press F5, I'll get this, right? That's the old time. And you know this one is from this line. So we know we need to get this new format to replace the old format. All right, just ignore this one and print this again. Yeah, good. So let's say create a new times, the list that assembles this one, but with the new time format like this one. All right, so list comprehension for individual item in the old times, that is the old list. I'm going to use the time match function that I created before, which is this one, and it's going to apply to each individual item. Now let's print the new times for the first 5 items. Press F5, and I expect to get these, right? But I want to get rid of the open square bracket and the closed square bracket. So basically, what I'm going to do is to replace the open square bracket with a blank space, and then replace again for the closed square bracket with the blank space. Let's try F5, save it and run, and I should get this, right? So basically I should have like a whole list of timestamps. So that's the new times, right? And now I move on to grab the contents. Okay, I just call the content pattern, and the content pattern should be negating the close bracket, and then whatever behind that with this one, and then I have to I think it's only one dash line. Yeah, it's one dash line. Let's try this one, and just copy the old times and change it to contents. So it's a list that holds all the contents. So basically I'm looking up from the source text, and then I change this pattern to content pet. Okay, and this time let me try to print the contents. F5, I'm not sure if it works. Yeah, it doesn't work for the content. Contents, oh yeah, this one, a typo here. F5 again. Yeah, good. So I get the contents here. So now I'm going to create a text that is going to be written on the new file. Okay, so I just call this output text, and it's going to be like for I in contents. So for each line of the contents, here I'm going to add IDX for the index, because I need to add the index to each line of the subtitle. Okay, comma and I for individual item in enumerate. Okay, yeah. Okay, so and I'm going to have a text that is wrapped around with the F string. So for the first part, it should be the index, but I'm going to start from 1. here I'm going to just use the old way, just start from 1, next line, and then I'll just put in the timestamp. So it's going to be the new times with the index. Okay, then the new line, I'm going to put in the content. And now let's try joining the output text. Okay, just put F5 and see if I get it. Oh yeah, typo here. N times. Ah, too bad. Typo here. Okay, just, yeah, great. So this time it works. Oh yeah, you know what? I need an extra line for this one. Now, you know what? I can do this with the, I just call this output contents and rename this output text equals double dash, and just an empty line to join the output contents. Okay, and this time I'm going to just preview the output text for the first 5 items. Okay, F5. Oh, come on, how come? Oh, you know what? Because this is a text string. It's not a list, so I should print like 100 characters to view more. All right, so this is, yeah, maybe I just put 1000. F5. Oh, too much. 200. F5. Yep, here we go. The first index and the first timestamp and the first content and the second index. And here I'm not sure if I can change it this way. Yeah, I'll just copy that, comment this out, Control V, and let me change this one. Enumerate and comma and the start equals 1. I'm not sure if I can do it like this. Good. See? Without adding 1 here. So I'm going to just keep this. This is the list that contains the content, the output content. Okay? And I'll just convert output contents from a list to text string. Okay? I'll just add the comment here. Yeah, just remind me what I was doing. And this one is just previewing the first 200 characters of the output text string. Okay. Let's try F5 and run it and just get the same result. So to output this output text to a file, I'll just do it this way. Just call the output file and then use the read string to read whatever location. I'll just read it to G drive audio cap folder. You just put it in whatever folder that you prefer, or if you create a user interface for that. So but here I'm just showing you real quick, and I just call example.srt. Okay, and then I'll use the path object here from the very beginning. Something wrong here. Oh yeah, I just remember the wrong code. So we just, the path we save to write to the output file dot write text. I'm going to write the text from the output text. This is the text string. Okay, and then I set the encoding equals UTF-8, just in case if it has character that is non-English. Okay, so just press F5. Just see if I get it. So seems like it works. Let me go to G drive. Let me check the output file. It should be the example SRT. Yeah, it should be this one. Yep, you see here. Let me check that out. First one, okay, I'm done with the recording. I just want to try the audio, whatever. I just want to time the audio. Okay, so the first 3 is correct. And let me press Control N to jump to the end. So it's pretty long, right? So the duration is about like 26 minutes something. So it's really long YouTube video. And I'm going to upload this file, upload this one to YouTube. Okay, I got my English subtitle finished, but I forgot to make my bilingual translation version. So I'm going to get this done. And here I'm just using the Google Translate from the Deep Translator package. You probably need to pip install Deep Translator, import the package, just like what I'm doing now. So from Deep Translator, import Google Translator as GT. And now I'm going to translate each item of this list of subtitle contents. So I just call this T contents, which is a translated content. So it's going to be equal to a map function of, like, I'm going to map to an iterable, which is content, and I'm going to use the translation. So I'm going to just put whatever function here, and I'm going to create a backend function on top before we code our example usage. So I just called it get trans, and it's going to be on a text string, just translate it, and we are going to return using the Google Translate object, the source equals auto detect. So it's going to detect whatever language of my source text. And then the target is going to be, I'm just inputting this one. So maybe I just add one more target. Okay, so the target is going to be equal to this target variable and translate the string. Okay, so here for this function, inside the map function, I'm going to put in, oh, you know what? Maybe I just leave this, just hard code this one, traditional Chinese. Here I'm going to use built in a function with the trans, the get trans, and I'm going to make it a list to wrap around this map function. So we have a T contents here. Just comment this out to avoid outputting any text. Let me just print the translated contents. I'm just previewing it. Okay, I'm going to preview the first 5 items. Okay, and just separate that with a joint. Just make it a string. Okay, press F5 and see if I can get the translated result. Oh, you know what? This one is not closed. Yeah, just close this one. F5, and it's going to take quite a while because I got like 26 minutes of subtitles. So this part is going to take quite a while. And hopefully the map method can speed up the process a little bit. Yep. So it can output the first 5 items of the translated contents. And now I'm going to create a new text to join a new output contents. Okay. So just copy this one and I'm going to name it to the translated contents. I just called it trans contents. Okay. And I'm going to just add a new line, add a curly brace to add the T contents and a square bracket to put in IDX. And with the translated contents, I'm going to create one more for a translated text string. So just call it trans text. And it's going to be joining the trans contents that we just create. Okay. Okay, and now let me just comment this out. And instead of the output file, I'm going to use the trans output file to indicate the translated content. Okay, I'm just copying this one, name this trans. Okay, I'll uncomment this so I can output the original English subtitle that we just did, and I print the bilingual subtitle to the trans example, the trans example file. Okay, which is this one. Instead of the output file, I just name this to a trans output file, the one that you see here. And I'm going to write the text based on the trans text, this one. So I'm going to output 2 subtitle files. Okay, trans text. Okay, so let me press F5, save and run it. Oh, it's out of range. How come? Try to fix this. Okay, let's comment these 2 out. And let me print Okay, just comment this out, and then let me print number of output text, and then this is just putting the length of the output text. So let me check the output contents, and then let me just for simplicity make this the number of trans contents. Let me see if it works. Okay, just to check if the links are the same. It's out of range. Very strange. And I'll figure that out when I come back. All right. I just figured that out. The index out of range problem lies in the trans contents, which is the list that contains the translated contents, which is the T contents, on top of the original output contents. So you see this T contents here. For index, since I start from 1, so the first one is 1 instead of 0. But the first item of the new times, n times, has to be index minus 1. It has to be 0 for the first one. And the same case for the first item of the T contents, the translated content. This one also has to be -1, all right? Yeah, let me just delete these two. And I can print the first 200 characters of the translated index. And now I'm going to uncomment these two, so I can print out the original English subtitle to the output file location, which is the example.srt, and this bilingual subtitle to a file in the trans output file, which is trans_example.srt. If I press F5 to run it, I think it's going to run like a minute or two because I have like 435 lines of subtitles. So it's gonna take quite a while to load these long subtitles. Okay, so you see this one with the original English subtitle and the translated subtitle in Chinese. So let me see if in the audio cap folder. So I have the English only subtitle here, example.srt, and I have 435 lines of sub. I think I should have a trans example here. Okay, this one, I have the English subtitle and the translated Chinese subtitle. So when I press the end, I should see like 435 lines of subtitles. And this is the English one and the translated Chinese one. Okay, so I should have 2 subtitle files. Yeah, I think that's fine. So I can just Alt F4 to close this one and exit this one. Escape. So I can just deactivate and exit this one. Then you can just upload these 2 files to YouTube. And I'm going to do this in the next part. Okay. All right, let's upload it to YouTube. Okay, let me just look up for the video. Paste it here. Yeah, I think it's this one. You know what? This one. Because I've already uploaded the Cantonese version. And here I'm going to add language. And I'm going to add English. Here I'm going to click this one. And I'm going to upload with timing, continue. And then I'm going to upload the example.srt. So here you see the English translation. But it seems like it actually doesn't read very well, but you can tweak around. Just publish that. I'll just add the Chinese traditional, and I'm going to upload the translation trans example. Okay, so you see this one. You just publish that. Let's say if I go to the video, yeah, you see the English subtitle, and for the subtitles, let me change it to Chinese traditional, and you'll see the English sub on top and the translated Chinese sub below. Okay, this is how to upload the Whisper-JAX HuggingFace generated sub to YouTube. Okay, ciao.